Okay, good day's work. Really crisp and clean practice. I think the guys are really dialed in. Our last week of training camp up here in Westfield, finishing the week with Tampa Bay. So really important that we kind of get good review all week on all the installs that we've done, good review on situational football, right? And then it's about details. It's about diving down on the details and diving down on the fundamentals and technique that it takes to win games.
Frank, are these practices more like a game week in terms of personnel and the way it's set up?
Just a slight tweak in that way, but not really. We're not doing cards or anything like that. I did go ones versus twos for a couple periods today, but we were still running our plays. We had a few plays in there that the coordinators asked the other coordinator to do something, just to get a look at something, but that was the only small tweak.
You mentioned the details, Frank. You've done this 5 years now. Is it hard or easy to get a sense of where your team's at 2.5 weeks before the games matter?
Yeah, I feel good where we're at. I think you can get a feel. The focus, the level of focus, the level of the level of effort. Really, the execution in practice. The execution in practice today was really good. I felt in all three phases. So that gives you a sense of confidence that we are close. We got work to do this week and next week, before we go into game week mode.
Is it easy to slip up this time of year? And is that one of the reasons why you're having the guys play Saturday as opposed to years past, where there's this lull before the games really matter?
Yeah, you just don't want to go 2 weeks. You just don't want to go that 3 weeks, without playing. So, and it is important that we take another step. So, we'll get them in there and get them the work that they need.
I think you would normally be back home after the second preseason game, and I think most teams are done with formal training camp. What was the decision process in coming back up here for a week, and what do you think you get out of that?
Yeah, no, that is a good point, and we have done this one other year. And the point is we love it up here, and, it's training camp. So we could go back a week earlier, but just administratively, with the number of guys we have and the setup that we have, it just makes sense to stay up here. The players like it up here. The coaches like it up here. It saves our practice fields back home for another week. That sounds like, but that really matters, because they get eaten up pretty quick. So it saves the fields for another week. So it's a good situation up here.
You worked on a lot of end-of-game situations, getting the ball down and kicking. Long field goals. You wanted to get a good look at long field goals today?
Yeah, we haven't had many in the games. So just wanted to – it was a combination of both the situational work of those end-of-game plays where you're just trying to get a field goal, but also good work for the kickers to get those longer kicks since we haven't had many of those in games.
Is that still up in the air, but that's still under discussion, kicking?
Yeah, I think the guys are both kicking well, and it'll play itself out. They both had a good camp.
Frank, on the next Tuesday roster cuts, do you think there's a chance Shaquille stays on top to start the season?
Chris and I have not had that exact conversation yet. Based on the fact that he's really not out here yet, I guess you'd have to say that that's a possibility, but I'm not assuming that that's the case. In fact, I really, from our standpoint, we really want to, get him back out there. Hey, when he's cleared, but even if he's not ready to play, get him out there. So, and you can't get out there if you're on PUP. You can't participate in anything. So, we want to get Darius participating. So at some point, even if he's not ready to play, we got to get him off PUP and get him taking reps, even if it takes however many weeks it's going to take to get him ready.
Frank, today you did a little unbalanced, not probably the right phrase, but you moved Matt over and Danny was with the second unit. Was that just to get Danny at center of the second unit? Or?
Yeah, that was just Strauss rotating guys around, cross-training.
Frank, how much RPO work did Matt Ryan do in the Atlanta offense, and how's he taken to what you guys do?
Yeah, not a lot. When he got here, Matt had said, hey, I haven't done a ton of this RPO stuff, but I've kind of seen it on tape a lot. I like it. I'm looking forward to, getting a feel for it. And he's really, obviously, a quick study, so it's gotten to the point where I think he's very comfortable with it, likes it. But we'll just build on it slowly, for the game experience stuff and see how it goes, with each game.
The processing a veteran quarterback does, obviously, that probably helps.
Yeah. It does. I mean, he's got a quick mind. You know, you got to have a quick mind, make good decisions, and then be accurate with the ball because it's a short throw and there's usually going to be a small window, and you got to get it out quick and with accuracy. So obviously all those things fit him. So, you know, that's why it was like, hey, you're going to be good at this. So it's just a question of getting the reps at it and getting comfortable with it.